Thank you so much for coming back to Southeast Texas Weekly. I'm Kevin Steele, and we are here with Godfrey Leggett, Democratic activist Kent Walston with Branick, Walston, Devenzio, and State Representative Mike Hamilton with District 19. We go to Godfrey first. The president's uncle could be deported. There's a call from the right that he should be. There's even an agreement on the part of Mitt Romney to say he should be deported.
There's probably a lot of other people that are in this country illegally that would be much higher on my list of who I would want to deport than the president's uncle.
That's the law. People,
but you know,
have to be deported when they're not in the country legally, correct?
We're not going to deport all 10 million of these people tomorrow. Okay, it's not going to happen. Or however many.
Mitt Romney says we should deport him.
No. That's nonsense.
Walston? Mr. Walston?
Well, I think he had an aunt that was here during the presidential campaign that was here illegally. I don't know what happened to her.
It's the rule of law. He should be deported, right?
Well, I mean,
just like
if the law says that they should be deported, they should be deported. You shouldn't get special treatment.
Let's not pick on him. Let's get all of them, you know? Try and do that. See what happens. See who mows your yard. See who cooks your food at the buffet, you know?
What do you make of this, Mr. Hamilton?
We don't have any illegals at the restaurant. We e-verify everybody. Just for a disclaimer, we e-verify everybody, and nobody.
I have noticed there's not any Spanish-speaking people at your restaurant when I eat there. That's true.
There's some customers, but there's not. But anyway, it's a big problem, and until you secure that border first. You can bring them all back as much as you want, but they're just going to keep coming across that border.
All the rest is just nonsense until you secure the border.
And until you secure that border, it's not agree. And as long as you got that border secured and people are wanting to come, they're going to bring drugs with them. They're going to bring human trafficking with them. Things, it all starts at that border.
And those are problems bigger than the illegals.
Then we'll deal with the illegal.
And you can't deal until you get that border done first.
Yeah. The latest manifestation, the latest nuance in the Occupy Wall Street movement. Apparently, some members of the Occupy movement have made public the personal information, right down to phone numbers, addresses of police officers. This is the newest thing we're beginning to see with the Occupy Wall Street movement. Is it a travesty of justice, and is there a place for free speech short of this kind of attack, if you will?
There is free speech in the United States. You get to do the things you want to do, but you can't go on other people's take advantage of other people and hurt them just because you're wanting some free speech. Giving out police officers' phone numbers is, and their home addresses is that's just uncalled for. That's just, you don't need that. If you
uncalled for, Godfrey Leggett?
Well, we live in a society where privacy is almost non-existent. To pretend that you can keep the police officers' addresses private is ridiculous. I mean, Shane Howard.
Yeah, but put them on a list.
But anybody can get this.
Well, let those people try to go get them and make them do some work.
You can get it quite easily.
Should the Occupy members be able to do that if they
anybody can do that, Kevin? Anybody can.
But I mean, is this maybe the more to be more precise, maybe the real question is it the an effective use?
I think it's kind of silly of them to do it. But is it criminal? No, it's not criminal.
Not criminal.
Not criminal.
No.
I mean, I agree. I'm the ex-cop for 10 years. I was a court-authorized police officer, and
that puts police officers' lives at risk.
It does. It does, especially if those police officers are undercover.
But tell him that you can get this information.
But you can. You can get this information through public requests.
It's out there.
Information
I guess it's just I want to go to those.
It's a moral issue. Should you do it?
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's right.
And what are you going to accomplish?
Well, I don't see where they accomplished anything, and it's kind of a bad idea.
If something happens to a police officer or his family, there's going to be some very unhappy friends of his that are going to pay you a visit.
Interesting. In the season of generosity and love, we shift gears briefly for words of wisdom from our astute panel on the good things about the other party. We have, see, here in Texas, we get along with
in Texas,
Democrats.
We have a great
Not Godfrey, perhaps, but many Democrats you get along with.
There's even those Democrats. You look at them, and I bet you we can come to some agreement on some stuff.
I'm sure we could come to a lot of things we agree on.
And whenever it comes to this area, me, Joe Desatel, Alan Ritter, we work together on things. We work together on what's good for this area.
Well, let me ask that question then. Just generally speaking, explain to me something that you like about a candidate of the opposing party. In this, I say a candidate. In this case, the President of the United States. Something that you believe the President has done quite well.
Well, I think he just probably this payroll tax thing at the end here. He's really done well. He's pushed it along and brought that up, and I think he's going to take a lot of good rewards from it. I think it was a smart move for him. I'm sure there's some other things. I just haven't thought about it really. But
we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. Kent Walston, we go to you. What has... We'll let you pick a candidate.
Why do I get this? I get the hard ones.
No. Ron Paul, what has he done well for the Republican Party?
He's running.
You got the same bowl.
I think some of his ideas are good about staying out of war and balancing the budget, things of that nature. They're good ideas, but he's so crazy on his other ideas. It's hard to compliment him.
Are there candidates though? Let me give you a harder one. Newt Gingrich or Mitt Romney. What do they have to offer the country? Is there something that you see, even though they're the other side, so to speak, the other side of the aisle, that they do well?
Newt Gingrich is a very intelligent man, astute historian, professor, and he speaks very well.
Okay.
But one of the things he did well with Clinton is govern. Those two houses came together. We had Social Security reform, welfare
They made
reform.
compromises.
They made compromises, and that's what I can say good about Newt Gingrich.
Okay, in just 45 seconds, Godfrey, we go to you for the final words. What do you like about the Republican Party as a whole? Maybe the entire platform, something you see within the Republican platform.
They're good at staying together as a group and staying on message, and that's a good thing. Unfortunately, some of their ideas cause their messages to be misguided. But, you were asking about Newt Gingrich. He's an intelligent man, but he kind of shoots his mouth off sometimes. Ask yourself, why is John Huntsman, a businessman, a successful businessman that owns refineries and chemical plants and has been in several administrations, why is he at the bottom of the list? Ask yourself that question.
Right there, we have to leave it on Southeast Texas Weekly. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a great New Year as well. Take care.
12 News in HD is brought to you by Cons.